the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. The show that gives you the lowdown on how to become a successful real estate entrepreneur. With more than 30 years of experience, America's top female real estate investor Dwan is an expert in financial freedom and turning dreams into realities. Now's your chance to become a Dwandernaire with the help of Dwan. Here's to a flaming hot foreclosure market with the help of Dwan. Cheers.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever. So excited to have you on with us. Guess what today is? It's Thursday, and I get to interview some of the most interesting minds in the world. I'm super excited about the guest that we have today. His name is Jeff Wickersham. I'm going to have him tell you a little bit about who he is. So this session is called Inside the Minds of Today's Millionaires. And I just like to get people on and interview, and y'all know I ask weird and random questions because we want to figure out what is inside the minds of the people that are successful. What are they doing that you're not doing? So listen, pay attention today. We have a really good show. And our motto here at Dwanderful is people before profits. So that resonates with you. You are at the right place. So Jeff, I want to welcome you to the show today. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. I'm excited to be here and grateful for the opportunity.
I'm so excited to have you on the show today. So we start off with drinks with Dwan. So we just have a little toast, and I hear you. So I did not pour mine into a fancy cup, so I'm just drinking straight out of the bottle. So cheers.
Cheers.
And everyone, we pause for just a drink and ask everyone just to take a deep breath, stretch, like clear your mind, and just relax with us and kind of just be a part of the conversation. Okay, so Jeff, what we like to do is we like you to tell us who you are right now, how we can contact you, and then we're going to ask a bunch of questions and see how you got to the point that you're at today. So the Dwanderful viewers, what we want to know is, what's your deal?
So my deal is I eat, sleep, and breathe morning routines and habits and rituals. So I'm a high performance coach, and I really focus on bookending your days. What's that last 30 minutes of the day look like? How do you prepare for success? And then what's that first 30 minutes? And how do you stack wins right when you wake up? And I relate it to like jet fuel in your veins. You get all these wins no matter what comes across during the day. And we all know there's a lot of things that can get thrown our way, especially with the last 18, 19 months with the pandemic.
Yes.
You stack those wins, you get that energy, you have more focus, you have more time in your day, you have more balance, all of those pieces. So I own a company called Morning Fire Coaching, and I guide clients through that process of changing their habits, tweaking some things maybe they already do, changing some things that they might not have done in the past that they need to adopt, and really providing that foundation, right? We're talking about real estate a little bit. It's that true foundation for any success in life, I feel. And so many times people are trying to build this mountain of a business or real estate empire, but it's on quicksand. They don't have these habits that are foundational to success. So that's what I eat, sleep, and breathe on a daily basis.
I love it. How do we get a hold of you?
So they can reach out to me on Instagram, LinkedIn. Instagram's Jeff_Wickersham, or you can go out to my website, www.themorningfire.com. You want to book a 20-minute complimentary call where we talk about whatever it might be. I just love getting on, connecting with people, and helping and serving anybody that truly has a need or a want.
Nice. And the name of your podcast
is Morning Fire for Entrepreneurs. So I interview a high-performing entrepreneur once a week on Wednesdays, and then Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, I give a small snippet, 5 to 10 minutes of a solo episode, hopefully to change something in your thinking and you to take action on what I tell you.
Nice, nice. Well, I love everything that you said. So I always like people to kind of tell us like their version of what they are and how we reach you and stuff. Because I want all your info in the show notes as often, as many times as I can have it in there. So I love the fact that you just started out with a ball of fire, working on habits and rituals, and I feel like, now I don't know, right? I know that as far as real estate investing goes, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to be a real estate investor. I'm going to close 5 deals this year. And I always say, well, how? Well, I don't know. And they treat it kind of like it's a part-time job, even though they want this to be their full-time job.
Okay.
Like a lot of people, and it's probably the biggest thing that drives me crazy is I tell people, if you don't have schedules, if you don't, what's that saying? If you don't plan to.
Oh, if you, it's a John Wooden quote, right? Failure to plan is planning to fail.
Exactly that. Yeah. And people all the time, like I just did a workshop a week ago. People go, oh yeah, I'm gonna, talk to homeowners here and there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, schedule, because and I talked about being low performance, medium and high performance and how to get the most out of your working hours. But it sounds like you help people like all around scheduling their lives and their working and all their other things in their life as well.
Yeah. And I do. And I specifically focus on, right, what's that last 30 minutes? What's that first 30 minutes? Because that's not taught in schools at any level of education. It's not typically talked about in family circles, right? That's not something that says, hey, how do you wake up in the morning to get inspired? How do you exercise, meditate? How do you do these things to truly get you wired for success? But yet so many people feel like I'm just going to wake up and it's going to happen. And it's just not. And when you have good days and you can wake up and do things that you want to do and you're supposed to do, that's great. But what happens on those bad days? That's where you have to fall back to those habits, those rituals, that foundation. And if you don't have those bad days, you're not going to do anything and you're going to be so unproductive. And those are the days that actually matter, not the days that you're feeling great.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's like, it is. It's like you have to do things even if you don't feel like it. So for somebody that is, kind of wakes up and just sees how the day unfolds, what are a couple of habits you could give us about how do we wake up? I know for my own personal self, the last couple of years, I've gotten a little bit lazy and I'm like, do I feel like getting up? Do I want to sleep for 5 more minutes? I don't know. I think I'm going to go back to sleep for a minute. I have gotten really bad the last couple of years and I'm usually like boom, 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 boom. And just a lot of stuff going on. And I find myself some days just like, I don't know. Today might be just a nice day. I like to go lay in the sun. And so it's funny because I'm actually bought a book to like start scheduling myself out a little bit better.
Okay.
So, because I've just worked so hard forever, ever and ever and ever. And then I'm sort of like, I'm in my 60s. I mean, I could just like chill a little bit more. But if I chill for too long, I really don't get anything done.
Right. So yeah, a couple of recommendations would be, one, at night, plan out how you're going to wake up, right? What time you're going to wake up, where the phone's going to be. If you're going to exercise, have those close out and be prepared. Anything you can prepare the night before, then you're set up for success in the morning, because the mind is wired to take that easy route, right? To hit the snooze button, lay in bed for another 8 minutes of, quite honestly, unproductive sleep. You're not getting great sleep there.
No.
So anything you can do at night to plan ahead and plan for success the next day is great. Number one, when you wake up, avoid distractions, right? So it's not checking social media. It's not checking your phone. The phone is like a tractor beam from the Death Star. If you're a Star Wars fan, like it just pulls you in, even if you got a text message, like you just see it and you want to check it. And I have a strict rule with my clients and the men in my mastermind, no distractions, because
for how long?
Until you're done your morning fire routine. So it could be half an hour, 45 minutes, because there is a negativity principle and the news knows it. Everybody, social media knows it. We fixate on negative things, and our minds amplify them 8 to 9 to 10 times more than a positive emotion, because we've evolved as a human species, but our minds haven't, right? They call it the caveman brain, where we're still in the cave. We feel something negative, it amplifies it up because the mind still thinks we're in the cave and there's a saber-toothed tiger ready to kill us. So if you go down,
before, the caveman brain.
Yeah, caveman brain, where we have evolved, but our minds are still wired to protect us and feel that negativity as a threat to our lives. So that's why it's amplified, right? And that's why if anybody's ever said anything negative to you, most likely it sticks with you for a while because the mind amplifies it. It's why the news is all negative. So
oh my God.
Avoiding distractions.
True. Someone can write a negative comment and I'm just like, why did they write that? I'm so nice. How could someone say that about me? And on my mind, I was like, okay, wait, but there's 1,000 other that said you're amazing. So now I'm just like, don't go back and look at it again, because all it'll do is just wreck like 5 hours of your day for somebody that's just a troll.
It happens.
I get it. That'll sidetrack me for 2 hours.
It happens. And I remember the example. My wife went out with her girlfriends and she had a great night. And this is 10, 12 years ago. And she came back. I said, how was your night? She says, fantastic. But one person said something negative to me and it just ruined and I was like, that is the negativity principle at work. So no distractions when you wake up. This is your time and your time alone. Those are our two pieces: plan, no distractions, and then get quick wins, right? Get a quick workout in, get a glass of water in, meditate a little bit. All these things that you do for self-care. And so many people tell me I don't have enough time, or I feel like if I take care of myself, that's selfish. And I always love to flip it and say, it's actually the most unselfish thing you can do. Yeah. Because if you take care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, nutritionally, you're going to show up so much better for everybody else. And that's why I live by the mantra, rise, fight, love, repeat. And you're rising like a phoenix, reborn each day, new possibilities, new opportunities. You're fighting for your physical fitness, mental fitness, nutritional fitness. And I feel like, especially in society today, we need that dog, that fight mentality. It's like a world full of walking zombies just out there, okay, with mediocre, good, average. Screw that. Like, you've got to fight for what you truly want.
One more time.
Rise, fight, love, repeat. It's also the name of the book that I published last year, but it's my mantra. So fighting for your physical fitness.
I'm gonna have to get that book, because you're like, I'm like, oh my God, you're like speaking my language right here.
I love it.
Wow. But you know what? I learned that in a much more difficult way. My sister, as I told you, had gotten sick with breast cancer. She was living in a different state, and it's just me and her. My parents are still alive. She had 9-year-old twins. Like, all this started, and I was like, oh my God, I got to help this girl, you know? So I'm flying to Tennessee, like 6 weeks out, 2 weeks home, 6 weeks out. Like, this is how it went for 5 years. So crazy.
Wow.
And I started noticing I was getting sick all the time. Like, I was getting sinus infections and upper respiratory, and every time I'd come back home, I was sick. And, you know, and my mind was like, but I have to take care of her. And I was really focused on, like, I have to do everything. She can't die. She's my only sister, my baby, you know, the whole thing. Right. And when it's all said and done, I was like, oh my God, I have literally been exhausted and sick for 5 years. And then after that, I thought, you know what, no matter what happens in my life, I'm never not going to take care of myself first. Now, this is, 7 years ago. And I'm like, I don't care what's happening. I'm getting up and taking care of me. I'm doing my things. Because if I don't take care of me, I can't take care of other people. And so I literally lived by that. But it was because of those 7 years of being, honest to God, I had to have been on antibiotics 20 times. And I am like a super I don't like to take anything. I try to heal everything holistically and all that. But I could just, and my friends were like, hey, you're always sick. What's wrong? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just falling apart. but I wasn't taking care of me first. So you're right. It's not selfish. It's not. It's like, even like I do podcasts. I don't do them until 10 in the morning. People are like, why do you wait so late? It's like, well, I got to get up and I got to eat and I want to pray and I need to exercise. I want to take a shower and I don't want to start all that at 4 in the morning. I want to wake up. For me personally, I want to wake up when the sun's already up, and I'm a sunset girl and not a sunrise, and I want to do all these things so that when I start, I feel good.
Gotcha.
And people are always like, oh, why don't you podcast at 8? I'm like, in the morning? No, because then I won't do my things. And then when you miss a day, and then you miss another day, and then you miss another day, then pretty soon the habits that you built are gone.
Yeah, and that's so true. And unfortunately, we've been misled related to the science of habits, right? And everybody's heard 21 days to create a habit, right? That's BS, right? That's the bare minimum. Science has now proven out it's anywhere from 21 to 67 days. So imagine if you are going to take on a new workout exercise regimen at the start of a new year, you get to the 3rd week in January, you think you've made it, but it's going to take you 3 times that. No wonder why 80 to 90% of people fail, because we have not been actually told the science behind it and how difficult it is. And that set up a lot of people for failure, unfortunately.
It does. And I also think that a lot of people take on too many new things at one time. Like, I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to work out. I'm going to be a real estate investor. I'm going to follow Jeff. I'm going to do all and they take on like 15 things at once. I don't know how you feel about that. So this would be good for me to find out. I always tell people like, hey, if you're going to start, whatever it is, investing or whatever, just like start with a thing, like start with one or two things and make those part of what you do and then add. So how do you feel? Like when someone's like, hey, Jeff, I'm going to make a life change. Here's what I'm going to do. Are you more like do it all at once or do a few and add? Like, how do you coach people for that?
Well, I get, it depends. If you've got me as a coach one-on-one, we would probably do a lot more because I'm there from an accountability and a support standpoint. But typically what I would recommend is starting small and focusing, to your point, a couple things. And so many times people start with such intensity. And Simon Sinek says in one of his books, consistency is more important than intensity, right? If you go, and so many people, again, using the workout example, beginning of the year, they haven't hit the gym in 5 years. They go batshit crazy for 3 days. They can't sit on the toilet. And now the thought of exercise is connected to a negative experience and they never go back. Or imagine if you just went, I tell people, I'm like, go for a walk for 5 minutes for a week, just to get the body moving. Next week, do 10 minutes, right? It's that little incremental steps that you can take and increase that can set you up for success. And unfortunately, we're wired again to want to hit that grand slam home run, have 6-pack abs in 6 minutes, have a funnel that builds the business to $1 million. And that is so rare that it just, you can't be wired for that. So I would agree with you. Start small, chunk it up. Consistency.
Well, that's good, because that's what I advise people that are becoming new students of mine in the investing. Like, oh, I'm gonna quit my job. I'm like, hang on. Do you have savings? Like, what? You can't just like quit your job and decide the next day you're gonna be a full-time investor and you're gonna close the deal in 2 weeks. Because if you don't, you're so freaked out and you go back and get a job and then you don't try anymore. You quit. So you literally set yourself up for failure. But I used to, in my 20s, one of the jobs I worked at a health club. So now this is, like 40 years ago. So you didn't have to be a certified trainer or anything like that. So, people came in and I'd sell them gym memberships. That the people I would sell, I would do their first workout with them. And this was a gym back in the day where they had like the girls' side and the guys' side, and so, and I remember, so now I was in good shape. I was working out, I'm riding my bike, I'm in Florida, I'm always doing stuff. But I would have these women come in, they haven't worked out in 100 years. And we had like this standard, do 3 sets of like these 10 exercises. So I used to tell the boss, like, listen, that's too much. It's too much. These women are so sore, and they powered through. And then they come in like 2 days later and I'm going to work out with them again. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sore. And then within a week, they're so sore, they stopped coming. And they never came back. And so the club was like, yeah, well, we count on people not coming. If all the people came and showed up, we wouldn't be able to have enough, enough space. I'm like, so I mean, this was my first time being exposed to this concept of selling 1 million people on the hope that nobody actually comes and uses. I'm like, seriously, why would you not want them to do? Oh no, we work them out real hard. They get sore and never come back. That's why we sell like 1 million memberships all the time. That's if they all showed up. There's no room for them.
That's crazy.
At first I was like, I've never heard of that kind of selling. That doesn't sound like anything I would personally want to buy. But these women, I'd be like, listen, don't do all this on this card. Like, do half of this and stretch. And I would like talk to them on the side. Listen, if you do all these things, you're going to be so sore in 2 days, you're not going to be able to sit on the toilet.
Yeah, it's the truth.
I got fired. I ended up getting fired because I would tell my people on the side, like, don't do this. And they didn't like the fact that I was really trying to actually help and I wanted my people to come in, like, hey, Dwan, look at me, get in shape,
Right.
And oh my God, these poor women, they come like, I couldn't get up, I can't bend over, I can't put my shoes on, I can't sit on the toilet. I was like, that is a terrible business model.
Yeah.
But I think that's what clubs do. I don't know. I mean, but you're right. People get too intense, they do too much all at one time, and then they can't maintain it.
Yeah. And the key point is that consistency. If you're consistent, you will eventually win. The issue is you just don't know when it's going to happen. And just think about that. Like if you're consistent over and over again, eventually, hey, it might take 5 years, 15 years, 50 years. Eventually you will win. But most times people don't have that resolve, that mental fortitude, that toughness to say, I'm not quitting until I win.
Yeah.
And they give up.
Yeah, they do. They really do. I know you said you deal with lots and lots of entrepreneurs. So what would you say, just for any entrepreneur of any kind of business or genre, what would you say one of the first things that you help people with as far as like, hey, you really want to be successful? Let's start your day off with
Glass of water right when you wake up, right?
Okay.
We're made so much of water.
Yes.
But the longest time we go, longest stretch of the day without water is when we sleep. So I say glass of water right when you wake up, because that starts that rehydration process. It starts that wake up process. And it's just so simple, yet so missed by the majority of people. And I always tell people and coach them, like, you got to have that glass of water ready. I prepare it the night before, meaning I have a full glass of water poured, ready to go. I put it in the cabinets because we've got 2 cats and they would probably knock it over. But people say, you want my glass of water poured the night before? That seems ridiculous. Why would I do that? And I tell them, I said, so let's imagine this scenario. You wake up the next morning, you're going to get your morning fire routine in. Yep. You go down to get your glass of water and you go into the cabinet and there's no cups that are clean. You say, okay, I'll go to the dishwasher. You go to the dishwasher. Oh, somebody didn't push the dishwasher in fully, and now there's no clean cups. That's the first opportunity for your mind to say, you know what, screw this, I'm going back to bed. So that's why you've got to plan for success.
You know, I love that you said that. About 2 years ago, I don't know, I was reading, about whatever, health issues, health things. And I don't remember what it was, probably just something I had Googled. And it said the first thing you should do in the morning is rehydrate your body. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that. And so same thing. It's like I would get up, get the water, and then, we have a big house up in the mountains. So it's, from my bedroom to the kitchen, it's a long way. And so I go to bed, I have a bottle of water on my nightstand. So I made a rule that when I wake up, before I can even go pee, I have to drink that bottle of water.
There you go.
And I wake up and I'm like, and sometimes I'm like, ooh, I gotta go pee. I'm like, oh, I gotta drink that water. So I drink that whole bottle of water and then I run to the bathroom and have my morning pee. I guess we can talk about that here. And I gotta tell you something. Right out of the gate, within just a few days, I could feel myself feeling better in the morning. And so everywhere I go, every hotel, no matter where I go, I have a bottle of water. And I'm not allowed to get up until I drink it. Now, sometimes I've walked with it to the bathroom. So it's like, okay, I really have to and I'm drinking it sitting on the pot, but I'm like, no, I'm not starting out without this water. So I'm glad to hear you say that, because I have been doing that for maybe a year, but I didn't realize that was it is a powerful way to start your day. I was reading something about, I don't know what I was reading about, maybe fasting or something, or intermittent fasting or something that was saying that we're the most dehydrated in the morning.
Mm-hmm. We are. So, and think about it. Where more than half of our bodies are made of water, and our like lungs and brain is like more than 70% water. So, I mean, you want that wake up process. You want to rehydrate as quickly as you can. And I love that you had that result from doing it. And it's something so basic, yet so often missed, where people will wake up, hit the snooze maybe once, drag their butt into the shower, and then go down and get a cup of coffee. And they're no wonder why at the end of the day, they flop on the couch, exhausted, stressed, have nothing left. And they say, holy crap, I got to do this again tomorrow.
And they start with coffee. Yeah, you're right. It's so funny because I'm already 62. Like, I just started doing this like a year ago. But the first day I did it, I thought, wow, I felt like, I have more energy today. And then, now I do it every single day. And it is so easy. Like you said, it's so easy to get up. And like you said, the dishwasher, someone didn't hit the button. And then the next thing you know, it's noon and you haven't done any of your stuff. And then your day gets out of control. And then the more out of control your day gets, the less chance you have of being successful.
Absolutely. You need to be so disciplined and discipline gets a bad connotation, right? Of discipline. You think about, hey, getting the wooden spoon like I got when I was a kid, or you know, being in trouble. Discipline equals freedom. If you get those things done in the morning, it's amazingly powerful. I've meditated over, today was 1,361 straight days, right? I've taken cold showers or an ice bath 1,010 straight days, right? Like things that I just have wired every single day. I do not miss them. And that's part of the standard that I live by.
Tell me how many days in a row you've meditated?
1,361, I think today was.
Wow. In a row.
In a row, 10 minutes. Never miss a day.
That's amazing.
That's something that you can travel with. We always travel with our phones. You can meditate anywhere with an app. When I'm traveling, I always get my glass of water in. I always meditate, and I always exercise. And those three things can be amazingly powerful. Even when you're on vacation and you're having fun, you still want to take care of your body and your mind.
I need to get strict about the rest of it, but I have the water part down pat. It's been a couple of years now. And even if I'm at a hotel, I'm like, hey, I need a bottle of water. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, no. I got a bottle of water right now, because I know the day I stop doing that, I'll go back to other habits. And next thing you know, because you are thirsty in the morning. And I don't think I could tell like right away, my skin started looking better. My hair actually started looking a little bit thicker, but I felt better. Just like, oh man, I can't believe how good water tastes. And so I love all the stuff that you do. I mean, I am such a kind of a preacher of the same sort of stuff, but mine is more like, hey, you need to do these things. And then here's when you do your real estate, and you've got to block out times. And I always tell people like, hey, the time you have blocked out for your investing, whatever you're doing, whether you're calling people, returning calls, meeting homeowners, going to a closing, those hours you have blocked out, there's nothing else that happens in that time. You're not going to go, I'm not going to get a sandwich, I'm going to walk the dog. Like that block of time is that block of time. And if you can't stick on a schedule, you can't be successful.
No, I firmly agree, and love talking about kind of the time management and scheduling. And I would say as well, to add on to, hey, scheduling that time, schedule that time, the same time every day. So your mind is used to doing it. Hey, if I'm calling potential homeowners from 2 to 4, do it every single day, because then you get into that habit, you get in that ritual, rather than 2 to 4 one day, 9 to 11, then you're a little scattered, and the mind wants that ease of being able to know exactly what you're going to do when you do it, and then you'll be more likely to do it actually.
I love it. You are like speaking my language. I'm like, oh, I love this. Yeah, this is like, I'm going to make sure everyone I know listens to this. Like, listen, this guy right here, he backs up all the stuff I'm always preaching to everybody. It is hard to get people. They want to be successful. They want to work for themselves. They have this dream. They're going to fix up houses. It's going to be great. They're going to own rentals. But when it comes down to like the little things are what help you have the bigger things. And when I'm talking to people about their schedules, and I have people like make a schedule for me, and I'm like, okay, well, where are you working out? Where are you spending time with your family? Like, where is some of these? Oh yeah, I just kind of see how things go. And I always am like, that person's not gonna make it. and not that I don't ever want anyone not to make it, but you can just tell the people that come in like, hey, what do I need to do? Tell me what to do. How do I make my schedule? And the ones that are like that, you just know they're going to do better than the people that are like, well, I'm going to squeeze it in every other Friday for an hour. It's like, it doesn't really work.
Yeah. And it's crazy. So many people kind of say they want to do things and they have good intentions, but unfortunately, again, back to the science of kind of habits and rituals, people don't know how much of what we do on a daily basis, our habits, our rituals, right? It's why every day feels like Groundhog Day. It's because up to, can be 90%, 95% of what we do is what we've done many days in the past. Our minds have a limited capacity. There's a computer program running behind the scenes. Anything that the mind can move to our subconscious and automate it, you don't have to think about it. It will, because it has a limited capacity. It's funny because when COVID hit, all of a sudden, I don't know if you felt this, when we had lockdowns and we weren't allowed to go out of our houses, all of a sudden time stood still.
Yeah, it did.
And I remember that specifically because we would go for walks as a family and people were like, why is time slowing down? I'm like, time's not slowing down. You are not used to this. So you just broke your habit patterns.
Yeah.
But then what eventually started happening is it started to pick up again. You got used to it. So that's just a great example and a recent example to think about it, right? Time didn't slow down. You just weren't used to what you were doing, and it was all different.
Yeah, it
And
was. It was.
yeah.
I remember we were actually here at our house in Florida when the lockdown started. And so for the first couple of weeks, we were like, well, what do we do with ourselves all day? Because the normal things I was doing, they weren't happening. I was like, oh, okay. So I thought, you know what? We have all this new time. Like, let's pick up some good new habits. And all my friends, you know, you read I'm sure everybody saw TikTok. Everybody's gaining weight, they're drinking, they're partying. And we were like working out and riding our bike every day. And
I was still up at 4 a.m. working out. People are like, you're freaking crazy.
We didn't gain any weight.
It's a slippery slope. Yeah. Yeah.
So you start your day at 4 a.m.
It's anywhere from 4 to 5 a.m. Typically 4 a.m. I love that quiet time in the morning where I can get my morning fire routine done and then spend time on myself, reading, educating, jumping into, after I get done, I will jump into work because nobody's reaching out at that point, right? That's guaranteed, dedicated, quiet time. You can focus and really do some amazing things.
How old are you, Jeff?
I'm 46 years young.
You look amazing. A total rock star over there. But see, my husband is like that early. Like he likes to get up early while it's quiet. But I am the other way. I like it at night after everyone's gone to bed and that it's quiet at night because I feel the most creative at night. So he's like, we got to get on the same schedule. I'm like, dude, listen, I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. So that's never happening. He's like, well, I can't stay up with you till, and it's not even late, like midnight. And I'm like, yeah, but between like these hours and these hours, it's really quiet and I can reflect and I can plan. And that's when I come up with my best ideas and my journal's like full of stuff. And so I do get up earlier than I used to, but he's complete opposite. He's like, if I'm not busy doing stuff by like 5 or 7 in the morning, I feel like I'm wasting my time. And it's like, do not put me on your schedule.
It's so I've got 2 sons, soon to be 13, and my youngest son's 11. And when they're off for the summer, my wife's a teacher, they all sleep in, right?
Yeah.
And there are mornings where I get up 4:15. Nobody gets up in my house till 9:15, 9:30. So I have 5 hours to get tremendous work done. And I get so much, I'm so productive at that time. Once I get my morning fire routine done, that it is a true game changer. And people are like, how do you do everything that you do as far as coaching sports and podcast? I said, because I'm productive the moment the alarm clock goes off, right?
Yeah.
I don't get distracted. I'm getting myself mentally, physically, spiritually, nutritionally ready. And then I'm attacking.
Yeah, I love it. Now, tell me a couple of things that, so we have our morning routine. And I love the fact that we just like start with water and just, add things and add things and add things. What are some things that you have people do in that last 30 minutes before they go to bed?
One is celebrate a success for the day, right? And get your mind into a state of gratitude. One of the things I love to do with my 2 sons and wife is we say prayers every night. And after our prayers, what are we thankful for? What's one thing that we're thankful for, what we're grateful for? So that's always a terrific way to end your day because we are the only species that continues to beat ourselves up for things we didn't do yesterday, a week ago, 2 years ago. So getting into that state of gratitude's incredibly powerful. Prepping for a good night's sleep, right? Putting on some blue light blockers, getting away from computer screens, getting ready to actually get a good night's sleep. And so many people struggle with sleep, but yet they're on their phones in their bed. They're not really, they've got all this light around them. The room might be warm. There's no noise on the. There are just ways to get a great night's sleep. So you've got to prepare for that night's sleep. So definitely celebrate a win for the day and then prep for a great night's sleep because that's where your mind and body repairs and restores.
I love that. I do love that. It's so weird. Like all these things that you're saying, these are all things like in the last couple of years I really started focusing on. And one is sleeping because I have a really hard time shutting my brain off at night because I am more creative at night. So I'm laying in bed and I'm like, okay, I'm doing this and that, and I did my thing, and I listen, I pray before I go to bed, and then I lay down. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a great idea. And next thing you know, I'm writing down ideas. I'm like, another hour, I'm writing. I'm like, okay, stop. So I started doing like all the lavender and turning off the
Essential oils.
TVs
Mhm.
and using the oils and turning the lights down. And I'm trying, but I still find that once I lay down, I have like another hour and my mind just goes crazy for a few minutes. So how does a person like that like shut that off?
So I do like the fact that you write things down, right? One of the other strategies I would recommend to you is either guided meditation, right? Put in some AirPods and listen to some guided meditation. There is an app called, I think it's called Think Up, if I recall, where you can actually record your own meditation and your own voice. And there's been a lot of studies show that that is incredibly soothing when we hear our own voice. So you could actually have some affirmations or something to music, and you could listen to your own voice to calm down as well. Or some people use binaural beats, right? We have different frequencies in the brain, and you can go out and YouTube binaural beats and listen to. I typically take a power nap in the afternoon, and I do some binaural beats, throw on the headset for 30 minutes, and it gets me into not a deep sleep, but a restful sleep where I'm ready and recharged. So those, I would definitely leverage meditation or the app or some binaural beats to
I'm gonna try that.
fill your ears, so you're listening to something, and that will take your mind's attention off of, I've got this creative idea or whatnot.
I do that. Yeah, my husband, he lays down. I swear to God, he lays down in 30 seconds. He's asleep. I'm just like,
I've had conversations with my wife, and she's like, you fell asleep in 6 seconds while I was talking.
That's
and
what he does. I'm in the middle of a
literally,
sentence and I hear this little, I was like, we were in the middle of a sentence and he's gone. He just lays down, puts his head down, and like literally, I've timed it a few times. It's like under a minute. He's out. I'm like, how do you?
Same thing happens to us. She's like, I see it twitching and I know you're asleep. And it's like 10 seconds.
Lavender, I'm spraying, I'm deep breathing. I'm trying to do like 10 deep breaths and all this stuff. And he's just out like a light. I was like, I don't understand how that happens for you. So I have been working on that. I've been reading all this stuff. I even tried like some melatonin.
Melatonin.
Melatonin. Oh my God, that stuff gave me the worst nightmares. I mean, like so bad. I was like, I don't know what's in that stuff, but I can't take that.
Yeah, so that doesn't necessarily help you fall asleep. It helps the quality of your sleep.
Oof.
So
gosh darn. Yeah. I never had such horrible nightmares, like really bloody gore. It's like, oh my God, I believe that my dream I got stabbed in the face like 100 times. So I tried it for a while. I'm not trying anything. I was just like, okay, not working for me. So I do try. I'm trying to like get the room, get the oils, get the lights, get things down, put my phone away. I'm really trying hard to do that. But I still, like, even just last night, I laid down. I'm like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. And I get up and I write it down. It's like, stop.
Well, one other piece, as you were talking about that, is speak out loud to how you're going to sleep. All right, I'm going to sleep at 11:30. I'm going to get a fantastic night's sleep. I'm going to sleep for 6.5 hours. I'm going to wake up restful, recharged, rejuvenated, and ready to go in the morning. And speaking that out into the universe almost as an affirmation is incredibly powerful, because you're basically telling your mind and your body, hey, this is what is going to happen. I'm in control. And doing that obviously over and over again can definitely help as well. I'm gonna
try that. I've even like done hot showers at night and everything. And then as soon as I lay down, my mind was like, hey, here's this great thing. And I'm like, I guess I started off with my podcast. It all came to me at night. I'm like, okay, but even in the morning, I mean, I'm so creative when I wake up, but not the same as at night. So I do still to this day, I do struggle, but then I sleep good. Once I fall asleep, I sleep fine. I wake up, I feel refreshed. But I'm just like, I look at my husband almost every night in amazement. After 20 years, I'm like, how do you just fall asleep in the middle of a sentence? Like, how do you do that? I don't understand that. It's like some missing link. And he's like, oh, just lay down and go to bed. I was like, I don't get it. How do you do that?
I will say he's up early. I'm up early. Like when I'm up at the crack of dawn, I run hard all day long.
Yeah.
When it's time for bed, I am going to, I have no other thoughts. I'm exhausted and I'm going to sleep.
Maybe it's a man thing.
Maybe so.
I do keep a little notebook though, because I write stuff down. I have a little thing on my phone where I try to text, but then I don't want to text things into my phone because then I got the lights. I got to have on my glasses. So I do write stuff down, and then I wake up in the morning like, okay, I don't know what I wrote right there because I was trying to write real fast without my glasses on. I was like, I don't know what I was thinking. So it is funny. Even last night we laid down. I went to like the bathroom and came back out. He's asleep. But how do you do that? It makes me crazy. These are all super great tips. Like so good. I am so excited that we've had you on the show today. And I agree with all the things that you say. I just think routine for people that want to be well, for anybody. I mean, we all want to be successful, in whatever we're doing, but routines really are important. And I don't think people give them enough credit. And I feel like that's one of the things that kind of keeps people from being as successful as they want to be, is they don't give enough and they kind of just see how things go. And that's not, I don't feel like seeing how things go is a very good way to build a business or to build anything. I mean, even in your life, when you're married with your kids, like you have to have some structure.
You have to have specifics, right, around what you want to achieve. And I'll use the example. Last week, I said to the guys in one of my masterminds, I said, all right, I'm going to run 3 times, 3 miles, and I'm going to get under 9 minutes. And I typically just run, and it's a 9:25, 9:35 pace. Well, the first 2 times I got 8:47 and 8:34. I said, okay, there's something to putting a time, some specificity to it. I said, all right, I'm gonna really go for it. I'm gonna get under 8 minutes. What I get, 7:57. So you've got to have that North Star that you drive towards. And related to habits and rituals, I forget who said it, but basically that your success is a lagging measure of your habits and rituals.
Yeah.
So, it's just so incredibly
Okay, a couple
powerful.
personal questions because our time is coming to an end here.
Yep.
Tell me, what's your favorite food?
Steak.
Ooh.
Filet, like a nice filet mignon.
Oh, medium rare.
I like it medium, but I'm okay with medium rare.
Oh, I love steak.
It's got to be. Yeah.
What's your favorite band? Like, do you have a favorite band of all time?
Favorite
it has to be a band all time.
Gosh, that is a very difficult one because I was rock, kind of rap in high school, and now I'm a country guy. So, let's say the Zac Brown band.
Oh, I love Zac Brown. Yeah, I listen to all genres of music, and
I do as well.
Yeah, I like all. I mean, I graduated high school in the 70s, so I was like hard rock, and then disco, and then somewhere along the way, country. It's like a little bit of everything. So, where's your favorite place? Like, where is the place that you go, and when you're in that place, like everything is just right with the world? Where's your spot? Where's your place?
It's interesting because it's not one place, but it's when I'm exercising. When I'm exercising, I'm in that zone, and it's just so, I gain so much power mentally and physically from pushing myself, and it's just an incredible place to be. And that, I love that it can be anywhere, right? We were at the beach or at Niagara Falls, I'm running, working out. It just gets me in that happy place.
Nice. I love it. So I took a lot of notes, and I took them fast. So some of them I probably can't go back and read them myself, but we're going to see if we got inside the mind of Jeff Wickersham just a tiny little bit today. So you like to focus on habits and rituals and preparing for the next day, which I love. Focus on time. I like the morning first coach. Is that right? Morning first coach.
Morning fire coach.
Morning fire. I'm sorry. See my own writing. I was like, what did I write there? Morning fire. I'm sorry.
I love the fire, right? And that represents energy, power, passion, all that.
That's it. I love the logo on your shirt. I like the thing about waking up, like having your water, having your clothes out, having your things, and at night, having your rituals. And I do know for a fact that those things do really help people, but I just don't think people put enough importance on it. And I feel like that they should. Once you get the habits, then I look back sometimes and go, how did I ever make it without these things that I do? Because it becomes a part of you. So I love that. I love the morning fire routine. I love all of those things. I like about avoiding distractions in the morning, speaking things out loud. I'm going to try that and see how that helps me sleep. You like to have steak, like the Zac Brown band, and you like exercising, and you have meditated 1,361 days in a row. Dang.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. So tell us one more time how we get a hold of you.
So you can find me out at www.themorningfire.com. That's where you can grab a complimentary session. You can also check out first couple chapters in my book, Rise, Fight, Love, Repeat, Ignite Your Morning Fire. You can follow Morning Fire for Entrepreneurs podcast, or find me out on all social channels, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that good stuff.
Love it. Love it. Guys, I'm really gonna suggest that you guys follow Jeff. I gotta tell you, I've met a lot of people that do motivational types of stuff, but like, I just like the vibe off you is that you literally live and practice what you preach.
Listen, I am a practitioner, not someone that has read a book and just tries to teach on it. And I know we talked a little bit before. It all started with the death of my mother, right? Passing from breast cancer. That was my spark to leave corporate America. And now it's my mission to inspire and lead and guide others and have them live their fullest life, because you only get one shot.
Amen. Amen. So I agree with that 100%. So at the end of every show, we do the life equity. So if you're new to Dwanderful, I have a thing called the 5 equities of life. So it's financial, physical, spiritual, mental, and family. And we always have our guests give us an assignment. And all my loyal listeners know that I ask them to do it for 1 week. And if it adds value, keep doing it. And if they hate it, at least they did something different. So what is our life equity this week, and what is our assignment?
So the life equity is going to be physical, but it's going to hit, I think, more mental than anything. Okay. And it is going to be, when you're in the shower, turn it down to cold for some amount of time. Let's just say 5 seconds for a while. I do cold showers without any heat. And it is such a mental test to actually get in there, because your body's saying, no, no, no. But the ability for you to actually say, you know what, mind, I'm not listening to you. This is what we're doing, gives you incredible power. So as long as you can, either go all cold or take a hot shower and then turn it for as long as you can at the end cold, you will get a rush. You will feel that mental challenge, and it's amazingly powerful.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to have you come to my house in Colorado. We have well water that's 600 foot under the ground. It comes out like with chunks of ice in it.
I'm sure it does. I was up in northwestern Pennsylvania in the wintertime a couple of years ago, and it was the coldest shower I have ever taken in my life.
Oh my
and I've done ice baths as well, and that's probably the coldest I've ever been.
I love it though. That'll get everything you have going on. So, well, Jeff, I truly want to thank you for being on the show today. I'm just honored that we had the chance to talk, and I love everything that you have to say. And everyone, he told you all the different ways to get a hold of him. If you're new to this show, just go to Dwanderful.com and opt in. I've got some free real estate investing things for you and help you get the ball rolling. But I definitely think you all need to follow Jeff and get his book and just learn a bunch of good habits, because I just don't think you can ever have too many good habits.
You never can. They're the foundation for anything you want in life.
Amen. I agree. So do you have just a single parting word?
Every single day you get is a gift that you will never get back. So you better use it. Time
is our greatest gift. People don't realize it. When your time's out, time's out.
That's
so,
it.
All right, guys. So with that, we're out. So if you enjoyed the show today, if you laughed, if you learned anything at all, leave a 5-star review and write something amazing. I read comments. Also, go to Jeff's podcast and you'll love it, and leave him 5 stars. We work really hard to help all of you, and we like it when you reward us back by saying great things and leaving reviews and sharing this with all of your other friends and family and everybody that you know. So Jeff, thank you again. It's been super awesome. And remember, guys, we'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And the truth is in the red letters. All right, everybody. Ciao.
Thank you for dropping by to the most wonderful real estate podcast ever, making real estate investment Dwanderful each and every time. And for more information on how to make your real estate dreams a reality, keep an eye on Dwanderful.com and be sure to become a member.